thank God it's Friday, and thank God it's the All-Star break, or at least pretty close to it. Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Rodriguez, and welcome to the weekend edition of Dodgers Latest right here on our YouTube channel. Glad you're making us part of your day. Give us that thumbs up. Let us know you're there. We read all the comments. We respond to all the comments, and, of course, sometimes we'll read them here on air. And, of course, you can hit me up anytime at JRod Show on Instagram and X as we go through this wild and now turbulent season for the world champs, as they have now lost 6 in a row. And that's something that grabs your attention. Dodgers haven't lost 6 in a row since 2019, 6 years ago, ironically. And that team, of course, this team's made the playoffs the last 12 years, so it's not something that we haven't seen before, but it's kind of eerie how this year's Dodgers is a lot like last year's Dodgers, in that last year the Dodgers ended up losing 8 out of 10 going into the All-Star break, including a disastrous trip to Philadelphia and Detroit. Well, this year they have lost 6 in a row as they head into the final 3 games of the All-Star break, getting swept at home by the Astros and then losing 3 in a row in Milwaukee, 3 in the Bay Area this weekend, and then they are off until next Friday when they return back home, play a 6-game homestand against the Brewers and the Twins. But first things first, this weekend set with the Giants, and it's not going to be easy. Giants are putting out their top 3 starters, so it'll be very great in terms of the matchups, and we'll get into that as well. But for the Dodgers, you look to yourself, what's going on? What is this skid about? Well, obviously it's been offense, right? That's the one thing you can point to. Dodgers have only scored 10 runs during this 6-game stretch. Look at that, outscored 51-10. Obviously, the big bulk of that is knocked out of whack because they lost 18-1 to the Houston Astros. But what is undeniable is the Dodgers just are not scoring any runs. They're averaging less than 2 runs a game during this 6-game stretch. And when you look at some of the stars, you wonder, it's about making contact, right? Because, Ohtani has struck out 23% of the time in his last 30 plate appearances. Conforto, 29% of the time he struck out. Andy Pages, in his last 28 plate appearances, he struck out 32% of the time. And then the thing that gets you, that just blows you out of the water, is Freddie Freeman. His last 27 plate appearances, he has struck out 44% of the time. And that is just not Freddie's game. He always makes contact. So you just got to wonder, is it they're just feeling it? Is it they're just wearing it right now? Do they need this break? And for some of the Dodgers, remember, there's 5 Dodgers that are going to Atlanta for the All-Star break. So you just wonder how well they're going to get in terms of rest, getting the extra time in the cage. Obviously, Freddie Freeman will be the starting first baseman for the National League in Atlanta at the All-Star game. So lots of emotions for him as he comes back to Atlanta once again, this time as the starting first baseman for the National League. Interesting scenario here. It's about making contact. So the Dodgers need to go in the lab. San Francisco, not the best hitter's ballpark. So the pitching is going to have to be on display. And again, the pitching matchups in this series this weekend is going to be amazing, including the return of Shohei Ohtani to the mound. So the Dodgers, always in the mix. We always try to get you as many trades and possibilities of trades. How about this? Twins closer, flamethrower, Yohan Duran. Right? Yohan Duran. He is a guy who's 27 years old, Dominican, right-hander, flamethrower, right? Gets it up into the hundreds consistently, throws a 98-mile-an-hour splitter, also has a nice sinker as well. He is the Twins closer, right? 14 saves this year, 27 saves in 2023, 45 strikeouts in 41 innings, got a whip of 1.09, 0 home runs allowed this season, 0. And he is on the market. He's got a 1.52 ERA this year. Now, the question is, the Twins, are they buyers or sellers? And coincidentally, the Dodgers will be seeing the Twins after the All-Star break. They have the 3 games in San Francisco, then comes the All-Star break, then the Dodgers will host the Milwaukee Brewers a week from today, and then a week from Monday, the Minnesota Twins come to town. So I'm not saying that's when they're going to pull the trigger or that's going to be a time, but they'll be able to see Yohan Duran firsthand at Dodger Stadium if he's still there. Obviously, the Phillies are interested. The Yankees are interested. But, boy, the Dodgers, more than any team, I think, need that closer. We did see Blake Treinen come back to the minor leagues and pitch well. We saw Blake Snell pitch well in Rancho Cucamonga in Double-A. guys are getting back into it, and I know we're talking pitching and offense is the trouble, but again, I think pitching begats hitting. I think that if you know that your hitting is struggling and you're able to shut them down, and the Dodgers, they did really well in Milwaukee. The pitching did really well. They just haven't woken up the bats. I think, and it'll be an interesting move if they can get a closer, because I think they need one. I mean, obviously, Evan Phillips is not out there. Blake Trinan is hurt. Michael Kopech has been moved to the 60-day IL as he had knee surgery. It's been a mess. I mean, I've never seen a team that has played so well have so many injuries. Have you? I mean, the Dodgers have, one of the best records in baseball, the second best record in the National League, have a 5-game lead in the division. It was 8 at one point, and yet they're doing it, with bubble gum and chicken wire, trying to keep this thing together as they now host the Giants. And this is a big series because the Dodgers are 5 games ahead of the Giants directly in the National League West, and the Dodgers are in the Bay Area. But Yohan Duran, would you be interested in a guy like that on the mound? Hit me up with your comments, right? Let me know what you think, if this is what we need. I know a lot of people say bats. Max Muncy is out for 6 weeks. Probably, I think, soup to nuts when the rehab is over and he's actually back in the batter's box again in a Major League game. I think it'll probably be early September as we get ready for that final month as we get into the postseason. So they're going to have to sort of patch it together. Doesn't look like they're going to make a move for a third baseman. They're going to do it with Miguel Rojas and Hee-Sung Kim. Tommy Edmonds getting well from his pinky fracture. Teoscar Hernandez is on the IL. He'll be back in a couple of weeks. They're going to patch it together and get to Max Muncy, and hopefully Max will be ready to go early September. Soup to nuts, back, healed, rehab, ready to get back in the batter's box in a Major League game. Well, we've been talking about it. Yeah, indeed, the Dodgers and the Giants, probably one of the best rivalries in all of baseball, if not the best rivalry in baseball. Dodgers leading the Giants by 5 in the National League West. It was 8 at one point. Dodgers did take 2 out of 3 from the Giants in mid-June at Dodger Stadium. Remember, that's the game. It was a Friday the 13th. That was the first game of the series. Giants beat the Dodgers, and the Giants caught the Dodgers in the National League West, and the Dodgers ripped off an incredible run, got the Giants down to almost 9.5 games, and the Giants have clawed back to 5 back. San Diego's 5.5 back, by the way, in third place in the West. And a great matchup this weekend. Tonight, it'll be Dustin May on the mound for the Dodgers, and he will draw the ace, the always Cy Young candidate, Landon Webb for San Francisco. He's got an ERA of 2.62. Saturday, the Dodgers will have Shohei Ohtani on the mound as the opener. It'll be his 5th start of the season. He's got an ERA of 1.50, only 6 innings. We'll see if Shohei can get past the 2-inning mark, as he will be on the mound, and he will draw Landon Roop of the Giants. And then Sunday, to end the regular season, Yoshinobu Yamamoto will be on the mound for the Dodgers after that horrible start Monday in Milwaukee. Couldn't get out of the first inning, so at least you figure he should be rested at least. Didn't really put a lot of pitches under that arm. He will be on the mound against Robbie Ray of the Giants. He of course, a former Cy Young Award winner in the majors. He won it with the Mariners over in the American League. So great matchup. May and Webb, Ohtani and Roop and Yamamoto and Robbie Ray this weekend in San Francisco. See if the Dodgers can wake up those bats. See if Freddie can get back into it. Cruise into the All-Star game, maybe with a nice 6-7 game lead in the division. That would be nice, because remember, when you play the team directly behind you, each game almost really means 2 in the standings. So the Dodgers opening up this play 5 games ahead of the Giants. Always interesting when the Dodgers and Giants get together, especially in the Bay Area. All right, weekend is here. Enjoy it. We'll be back Monday to wrap up the first half of the season, a little home run derby, and preview the All-Star game, and of course, always taking a look at the second half. I'm Jim Rodriguez. Hit me up on X and Instagram at JRodShow. And remember, it's always time for Dodger baseball.